Doctor Who. Anybody seen Despicable Me? I swear to you, this man looked just like that character. And he had an associate who was a female, and she was thin. And they walk in my room, and I'm looking at them. He says, "Oh yeah, we're from oncology." And I'm just looking at them. What? Well, we would just want you to know we see a little something on your X-ray. Boom, boom, boom. I never wavered. I said, "Okay, that's what you see." Love says, God says what happens here. And I didn't go into a place of fear or anything. It wasn't anything, just a little shadow. So I am so happy to report that too. But I just want you to know, love, faith, those things that you don't see. Anyway, getting off the soapbox now. Today is our Unity and Community meeting. We do this every quarter, and when I say we, I mean the board of directors and the trustees, because we want you to know what we've been doing, and just to give you an idea, and maybe there's some ways that you can participate with us. So with that, I'm going to ask Reverend Patty, could you open us up in prayer?
So please join with me in taking a nice breath. Just allowing ourselves to feel the peace of Christ within our beings, the power of love. We give thanks for this community. We give thanks for the truths for which it stands. As we gather together today, we give thanks for each other and for this opportunity that presents itself to make a difference in the world, to be loved to one another, and to stand united in saying, there is no separation, we are one. And so it is.
So this is, as I said, it's going to be pretty informal. First, I want to bring up Rusty Rothrock, one of our trustees, and we are going to talk, he's going to talk to us about the sign. How many remember that we've been looking at getting a sign? A new sign, amen. So he's going to talk about the progress we've made. And then following him, you okay? Okay, following him, we will have our treasurer give her report, and then, and yeah, I will, but I got one more, Reverend Patty. Mike is going to be educating me on what to do. I want y'all to know. So just to let you know. And there definitely will be questions and answers.
Thank you, Zita. So Jody's passing around a piece of paper that has a picture of our new sign we're trying to get. Going back about a year ago, we were trying to get a EMC type of sign with the county. And EMC means Electronic Message Center. And that's a sign where you could change the sign with the computer from anywhere you wanted to in the world. And we were hoping that we could do that. But after a year of negotiations with the county and with some negative comments from some of our neighbors, we've basically been turned down to do an EMC type of sign. An EMC sign would be something similar to I guess the state cops up here in Midlothian Turnpike by the IHOP. They have an EMC sign, multicolors. Yep. But anyway, we've been turned down for the EMC type of sign, so we're looking for a different sign that's more, I guess, standard. Everybody have the picture yet? So what you have is a sign that we're shooting for now. It's called a stationary type sign, and in the middle part, there's a statement that says a positive path for Christianity. which is our tagline that we're probably going to use. That would be the main sign that you're looking at right now. Okay, I'm sorry. For spiritual living. And that's on it's on an acrylic face that's 27 inches by 82 inches. So what we're thinking about doing is making that changeable, making it a changeable copy. So we could slide out that saying, slides out the end. We could put another saying, another affirmation in place of that, and we could do that every 3 months or so. And we're looking for positive affirmations, like the next one could be, "You are perfect exactly as you are." Or, "Let go, let God." Another one could be, "I am grateful," or "I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful," in big letters below it. So you get the gist. We have a nice sign, but we want to be able to change the feeling that you get occasionally. We have 9,000 cars that go by our church every day. 9,000 cars every day. So we have a chance to get an impression out to the driver of the car 9,000 times a day. So they might see something that, "I am grateful, I am grateful." Some might catch, and they might come, or they might check us out on the website first, and then eventually come to church. That's how we all found it, I guess. And then we can advertise special events. Papa Spaghetti Dinner, that's coming up next February. Whatever the event is. There are Christmas lights coming up. So we have to go through. I'm sorry? Questions? Questions, Susan? We only have so much space in the sign. It's a big size. Yeah. Jim?
Is there some kind of printing apparatus that will allow us to print out those differing methods? Is that done in a sign shop?
It's done by a sign shop. Yeah.
Folks, so that the people that are online can hear y'all, please go to the microphone with your questions.
Yeah.
My question, there you go. Whoa, whoa. Yeah. My question was, is there some kind of apparatus or printing arrangement where we can change that? And Rusty answered that, yes, there is. It would have to be done by a sign company. So if we're doing that every 3 months, then obviously the sign company would print that out, and then we'd slide one in, slide one out, and there we go. So that answers my question.
So we'll be doing it ourselves. We'll be actually having the sayings stored up in the attic or something. It's on acrylic plastic, like a fiberglass plastic. The cost of those inserts, there's 2 inserts. Our sign is perpendicular to Buford Road, so you can see it coming in both directions. So we have 2 sides to the sign, and the cost is about $1,000. So we're not going to have too many types of affirmations, I guess. The sign is $17,000. The affirmations are $1,000 each. And any affirmations that you can think of, we would love to think of them or to hear them. Any other questions? Mike? Yes, it's lit, yep. There's electricity to it. Be beautiful, big and beautiful. So right now, we have an old sign that's 26 years old. Tom and I put our old sign up 26 years ago. It's wood, and Jim has fixed it a couple times. It's rotting away. And our old sign, our present sign, is not really doing much good for us. But a new, attractive sign that's more contemporary, that's more up to date, and something that has nice positive affirmations on the sign will go a long way into spreading the unity message. So hopefully we'll be pulling people in off the street and filling this place up. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Rusty. Also want to let you know, this sign has been funded. It was donated. We had money for that, just to remind you all. Yeah, just to remind you. And also, I want to let people know this is a safe place. Ask your questions here now. It's very, very important. Because if something, you may be feeling some way and someone else may be feeling the same way. And it's all a conversation. And it's all a compromise. So, and that's for the people at home listening in now. If you have questions, Debbie definitely will be kind enough to let us know what your questions are. Did anyone else have any other observations or any questions regarding the sign? Okay, thank you. Now we'll bring up, there is, yes. Please come to up front, to the mic. Come on to the mic. Girl, you're wearing that hat.
Hi, I might have missed a meeting or two, but I'm curious, so the style of the sign, I understood what he said, that they turned on, have an electric one, and that this one would have panels on both sides that can be replaced at $1,000 each. I know the old-fashioned popular church signs used to have those little letters like the restaurants, where you... That
Yeah,
thing.
reader-
So we
yeah,
don't want to do that
reader sign.
tackiness, right?
We're not going to, think about it. Okay.
Sometimes it looks tacky, but,
Right.
I was thinking if there was an updated version. Rusty. Okay. But, I didn't know if there was an updated
Yeah.
version of
It is.
that, where we did have the option to say something, because at $1,000 a pop, that would be out of our regular budget versus what was the sign donation budget. And that seems like even every 3 months, that's an extra $4,000 a raise, unless we can
Well,
be
we'll be,
prosperous. Yes.
we are prosperous, and we definitely, the board's going to be frugal with that. Okay. We
You sure,
understand.
Rusty, there's not an option for the reader?
Well, if you want to change them every day. Every week, excuse me.
Steve,
I know in Henrico County, flashing lights are
speak
not...
it to the mic, sweetie, speak it to the
I
mic.
thought I did. Henrico County requires zoning for signs. And even the flashing lights is not allowed in Henrico County. I know that, Henrico's so strict about everything. I live there, I love the place, but sometimes. But there is zoning, and a lot of the size, location, can't block traffic. There's a lot to it. And to have a commercial sign, really, they take care of all that. You don't have to worry about it.
Well, you're right, but the county of Chesterfield is extremely conservative too. And we're also up against being very close to a historical area.
Hi, I was just having a conversation with one of our members, and my question is, how much have we investigated our sign on social media, which is free of charge, of a regular approach to that, so that we are not only attracting people that drive by, but these are the young people we're looking for coming in, that this is the way they talk. And I know it's a stretch for a lot of us, and it's very comfortable for some of us, but to attract not only just the cars driving by, but that wider web of people. And do we have that in place, and are we utilizing that to our best advantage?
You know, that did come up, and I believe Reverend Patty is going to have our IT people, we're going to investigate how many people are coming here from the website or word of mouth. And I believe word of mouth is really winning over, but that's kind of normal for just about all churches now. So. Yes. Hi.
Thank you for saying something to encourage me to get up. I have to admit my confusion.
Can you step a little closer?
Several years ago, and I still have something in writing at home, Unity, like all of Unity Ministry, stopped using the word church. And they said they were sensitive to people who were turned off by the word church. I see that our sign has Unity Church of Bon Air instead of Unity of Bon Air. Have we gone back the other way now?
Well, that's very interesting because we are going to talk about that. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Ms. Z.
Hey.
I was wondering if I know we're not huge on symbology and unity, but I'm wondering if we've discussed ever putting a dove on the sign or a symbol there.
The dove.
You know, it spices things up to kind of have a picture. A picture is even more eye-catching than text. And I feel like, you know, that dove right there, just like the silhouette, is a very powerful symbol of peace, of inspiration, of flight. So I was just thinking, you know, we might not be able to do the flashing lights. We might be able to put more text, but I think it could be a cool idea to spitball on, maybe putting that picture.
Cool.
Too.
Thank you. That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea. Something to look into. Okay. Any other questions? I think, no, okay. Any other observations for now? Thank you. Now it's time to our wonderful treasurer. Before, I do want to say this. Rusty and Myra, Reverend Patty, Amy Fulcher Davis, they've been in the trenches, and Mike too. They have been in the trenches. I mean the very trenches with the county of Chesterfield. Yeah, and it's been, what, 2 years now? Yeah, so, yeah. So give them a hand.
The most exciting part of the meeting, the treasurer's report. 2023, we ended positively. Our income was down some from 22, but that's because in 22 we had a couple of extremely large donations that were designated to a specific thing. So, but we did go through all of 23 and not have to tap into our savings to actually make our monthly expenses. So just a recap of some of the things we did and keep working on. I was able to negotiate with our bank the interest that they pay on our money market account, which is our savings account. They were paying us 0.46%. That's not even 0.5%. And we got it up to 1.5. We will be going back this year to try to get it even higher. We invested some of our savings funds into a short-term CD that is guaranteed to generate at least 5%. So we're trying to get our money working for us. the board created, I'm not sure if all of you know, but our heat pumps, and we have what, 5, 6 heat pumps? 5 heat pumps. They're 12 plus years old. And although we do work on keeping them maintained, they're getting to that point where they may go any day. So the board agreed, and we have created we created last year a line item in our budget for an HVAC capital maintenance. And each month the board ties to ourselves by putting some money into that line item. So we've got money set aside for when one of those little babies decide, we're tired, we're getting out of here, you know. So that's one of the things we've done. The water well in the garden has already started reducing our county water bill, which is great. Although the Smart Flower has only been online for about a month, it does appear that it's going to be reducing our electric costs from Dominion. It's going to take us several months to really watch that and see how it's going to go, but we are anticipating a decrease in the electricity we have to pay Dominion Power. Dedicated donations last year provided for a new television screen and the redoing of the wall, the water well, the Smart Flower, the removal of dead trees in our garden, and those are all things that didn't come out of our general funds, our month-to-month operating cost. Rental income from the Village Montessori Academy, birthday parties, we even had a baby shower, different events substantially contributed to our operations and our operational cost. Love offerings allowed Unity of Bon Air, well, I already talked about that. ERTC, does anybody remember what that stands for? Yeah, well, Amy's sitting back there. Employee Retention Tax Credit. It's something from COVID. And Amy has just been so gracious in working with us to get the paperwork ready. And it does look like we're going to be eligible for somewhere in the neighborhood of $34,000 to come back to us. So, now the IRS does not always move very quickly, so we don't know when in this year we will get those funds, but we are eligible for them. Moving on to this brand new year, the board decided that we need to be having audits done on our books on a more regular basis than we've been doing. It's been about 4 years since we've actually had a CPA come in and audit. So we have provided our budget for an audit. We've already spoken with the person who did our last audit. She's on schedule to do our audit for us this year, and I'm really feel very good about that. We've provided funds for increasing our marketing. We want to really put an emphasis on marketing our events, our classes, Unity of Bon Air. And so that's now in our budget. Mike might speak to this later on, but after a lot of study, Mike spearheaded it. I sat in on a meeting or two with him and kind of tried not to fall asleep, but anyhow, we're changing our insurance provider. Our cost will be approximately the same we've been paying, but we have an increase in our coverage. And we feel very, very good about this company that we're going with. Also, we are researching, continue every month to research ways that we can invest our savings and put our money to work for us. So that's kind of the end of my report. Does anybody have any questions? I put you all asleep. Thank you.
Thank you, Myra. You know, Myra keeps standing. Amy, stand. Myra, yeah, I know you've been standing, but you got to stand. I just want to thank these two ladies. If Kara were here, she's here too. And we just want to bless you because you guys have worked endlessly to get this done. So we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. And we see you doing amazing things. Because this is... Yes. Yes.
I had asked Zita if I could say a couple comments about our Christmas lights. Believe it or not, we're already planning. We're already planning. I get tired just thinking about it, but we're going to be expanding. I know I heard some people, not a lot, say we didn't have as many this past holiday season as we did the year before. Actually, we had a lot more. We had to go out and buy more colored lights. We had run out. So I want to thank everybody, and if I forget a name, I apologize. But Mo and Mike, Howard, Joanne and Phil Grayson, my sister, Andrew Horn came out and helped us. And I know I've forgotten a few other people, but I thank every one of them for helping us to put them up and take them down and store them. We are planning, not going into a lot of detail about it, but we're having a beautiful star made for this holiday season. So thank you all.
Thank you. I do want to make a quick note about the smart flower. Isn't it beautiful? And it's my understanding that the fence that is to go around it is being specially made for us in North Carolina. So it should be here shortly. So, all right. Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of the smart flower, are we going to have we're going to have a celebration of some sort and party and picnic and all that?
The answer is yes. When? We're still working on that. Yeah. So, yeah. Yes, we do. It is. We're going to have a celebration around it. We have to. We have to. Yeah. Smart flower. Smart flower. For you at home, you can't see this, but Jim is here doing this. So we like that. Are there any more questions about what we've talked about so far? Okay, so I'm going to bring up our pastor. Come on.
Thank you. Okay, so my mode is celebrating and acknowledging, and you will be getting a letter with your acknowledging the donations and gifts from 2023, and these are going to be listed in this letter, but this is just an amazing list, and I want to comment on how abundant, prosperous, and generous this whole community is. So Myra touched on some of these things, but I'm just going to say them quick and have us all go, woo! So the Smart Flower was, since this is my second year, so I don't think I got anything completed the first year, of things we had on the to-do list, so I'm celebrating every darn thing we completed this last year. So the Smart Flower with the fence will soon be completed. Then we have a security camera on our Smart Flower. So all these are donations, specific donations that made these happen. The new security system on all the doors of the church. We have new LED lights in the lobby. They're like a week old and the buzzing has stopped there. We got new LED lights in the hall in the main office, which means lowered electric bills also. This new screen in here, the well in the garden. Myra mentioned it's reducing our costs. We had more Christmas lights, airfare for a guest speaker. Then our chaplain program brought in several special people for training and a wonderful event speaking. A donation for dinner for the board, a small storage unit in the garden, food and flowers for Bev Tinsley's celebration, a gift honoring Paula Davis, over $900 in Christmas mother gifts, and over $6,000 for removing trees and disease things that fell, things that gave up, all that stuff in the garden. This is a pricey item. So all that was given with great love to our church. So all together we're going to go, woohoo. 1, 2, 3, woo! So I celebrate us getting actually through projects, looking forward to getting through some more in this coming year, and my heart is just full with seeing how deeply individuals care about the life of this church. That's it. Am I doing that or are you doing it? I guess I am. Okay.
Okay, I guess I am. All right. There was a question, if you notice on the sign, that handout that Rusty handed out. Okay. You would notice it says Unity Church of Bon Air. Okay. Sharon, you brought up the point that a few years ago, we went through this, we're going to, church, the word church tends to turn people off. But there's also been conversations since then that at Unity Bon Air, we operate as a church. And we've had so many people, I wouldn't say a lot, but a few people have come to our door, knocked on the, what are you? They don't know what the building is. Can I even talk about Power Focus? The board back in the springtime, we attended a workshop, and this was sponsored by Unity Worldwide. And looking at who are we? And we've been asking you that question as well. Who are we? Are we a church? Are we a spiritual center? Who are we? And we tend to operate as a church. So, with that in mind, the question will come up, I think it's going to be at the annual meeting at this point. We need to bring it up to the annual meeting. That we look at putting the word church back in our name, because our legal name is Unity Christ Church of Bon Air. That is our legal name. So this is a question that we will be discussing with you all. I'm asking that you go into prayer, to meditation, if it's something that you feel strong about, if it's something that you don't. But let's not cause disruption about it. Let's come together in love. And it will be a joint compromise on that. Am I correct, Reverend Patty, what I'm saying? So, take a breath. There you go. Let's take another one. So, just let's flow with this. We're getting more information. We're researching our marketing as it stands now. How are people learning about us? When they come into here, we do ask them as guests. Most of the time, it's word of mouth. And I'm going to challenge each and every one of us, that includes myself, start inviting people. I do believe that unity is the best open secret that there is. It's wonderful. It's a great pathway to positive living. And we're being a little bit selfish if we don't share it. So
I like that idea, and my question is there a way that someone can create maybe just a general invitation? That we could have on hand and just give it to someone we're inviting with how to get here, where it's at?
We actually have the card. Are there any cards? Harry, do you mind checking? Okay. We do have cards. We need to talk about that more. There's so much wonderful things going on. Sometimes we forget to continue to mention the cards. We have business cards for the church.
So here they are, and they're hanging on a little basket, a clear basket right by Fellowship Coffee. And it has cards in there, and then it's got, the middle is the principles of unity.
Yeah. And it has all the information about the church. It contains 5 business cards. They're foldable, and you can hand those out. You can just hand those out. And you'd be surprised. I've had one person come because of that. So, and you never know. People, you just never know when you may need it. So keep them on you. I can't tell you how I think I was at Virginia Museum one day. I needed a card, and I didn't have one. But anyway, that's basically what I want to say about the word church being back in our name, being advertised as church. Are there any questions, concerns, or anything today that anyone wants to talk about that?
Well, I would like to just touch on the realization that sometimes the word church, or even like for myself, for instance, I was beat up with the Divine Father for so long in my life that you reach a point in your own healing where you come to a moment in time where you wake up in the morning, I and my Father are one. And I'm like, well, where's this mantra coming from? And is this one word something that I need to be healing and reflecting on for myself? And then because the key is then we take back that word because we've given it the new life and the power that it needs. And the realization that maybe we're the church that gives that new life and blessing back.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because let's be real, a lot of people have been hurt by the quote-unquote church. But if church is all you know, and you know that this is a place, a positive place where you can go to get healing, to be loved, to be accepted, to be known. Everybody loves to come to a place where everybody knows your name. And we do that here in a good way. I'm telling you, I've been involved in church since I was yay big. We do church good here. We do. We do. So, are there any other questions? Oh, there is one thing I wanted to say. I've formed a team called the Joyful Planning Team. And it has to do with the gardens. We talked a lot about some of the things that we want to do with the gardens. And some of we want to create different spaces, different areas. And we formed a team that we're going to look at that and bring back these wonderful, awesome, creative ideas for you all. So I want to put this out there now. Nothing has been decided until you guys see it, okay? So if somebody's telling you this is going to be this, no. Nothing's been decided yet. We're putting all our wonderful ideas and plans together, okay? All right. Oh, it includes the columbarium, the possible columbarium, because I tell you one thing about our congregation, we're 50-50 on everything. So we have, and that's why we're saying possible. And we're going to look at a possible, thank you, play trail for the kids and for the community, yes. And possible other wonderful things that's going to take place in our gardens. So You feel good about that? Because I do. Amen. Anything else?
Great shawl, Sita.
I know. This was a gift from Amy. I know. Thank you. I wanted to sparkle. I wanted to sparkle. And to the board members, thank you for all the work that we do together, working with me, for putting up with me. Because I can, like, no. Howard.
One more thing is we're going to be doing another survey that we did like 3 or 4 years ago. We think our members have changed and we're getting new members and just new ideas. So we want to do another survey. So Jody and I and Harry and Lisa and Amy and Janet, we'll be looking at redoing the old one and hopefully have it done where we'll do it in the early spring. So
Thank you. I do have one great, fantastic announcement. NGU is coming back. Next Generation Unity is coming back. Jake. Oh, well, come on. Listen, I'm a junior senior citizen, that's all I know right now. But we're gonna come up with a creative name. And Rama, I'm sorry, I called you Jake, but I should call you, okay. Rama and Reverend Patty and I met, and you all know him. Here you go, baby.
Hey, what's up, Unity? I wasn't expecting to talk today, so yeah. First off, just want to say thank y'all for being around. For the last 14 years of my life, whether I'm winning and doing all the things or really struggling, Unity has always been there, and that's pretty special. So coming out of my hermit mode very slowly and very steadily. But the call has been there for a little bit now to revive these circles. We had a great time and we learned a lot 8 years ago. There were certain things with just life and leadership that kind of got caught in the cogs. I had to go learn some lessons on my own. And yeah, we've had retreats that I've been throwing for the last maybe 4 or 5 years, a lot of fundraisers. One of them was here maybe 6 years ago, the Standing Rock fundraiser that we did, and then the next year we did a summer solstice event that was also a fundraiser for Mauna Kea. And I've kind of kept those things going, where on the equinoxes and solstices, we'll bring people together, and there will be like workshops and music and around like food sovereignty, yoga, breathwork. So restarting these meetings is kind of like putting down the roots for like weekly check-ins for people of all ages, all sorts. NGU typically back in the day, we said it was for young adults 18 to 35, but it's really for anybody above the age of 18. So we're still working on finishing out the mission, vision statement, and getting that tuned all the way in for a presentation, as well as on my side a couple fun business plans for other projects. But the way we're going to run it more or less is come together after service on Sundays for a time of universal prayer, and then there will be a text study that will have different themes and feels every 4 to 8 weeks, depending on what we're studying. So this is where kind of a lot of the Charles and Myrtle Fillmore having the classes of, the Hinduism, like how do we relate yoga to what we talk about with practical Christianity? Because really they're the same thing. We just use different languages for yoga means unity. So lots of other things like that for our first little discussion. And then we'll have a period of not too long, not as long as last time I did a meditation in here, but 10 to 20 minutes, some of you remember, 10 to 20 minutes of guided meditation, always accompanied by music, at the very least my flute, if not bowls, gongs, didgeridoos, all of that sort of stuff. So it's a mini meditation service and prayer service. And after that first discussion, that's more how are we relating to our own philosophies? How are we tuning into our language to describe spirit and to describe the struggles of the ego as well? And then I felt that it was important to divide and differentiate these discussions after meditating, reflecting on that first, another discussion on how are we carrying that into love and action in the world? Are we willing to sit down and hold ourselves and each other accountable for the way we're using our personal practices and philosophies to get tuned in with the earth and to get tuned in with the children and the water and, to protect those things real fiercely. Yeah, that's just general overview. We'll be starting hopefully in the next couple of weeks in the sanctuary, I believe. I would love to see you all there. I would love to share space and pray and meditate with you, and we'll brainstorm some awesome visions and projects to work together on in the future. Thank you for letting me share.
As you can see, we are moving and we are shaking. Yes.
Amy, are you still here? Could you come up front and lead us in happy birthday to Zeta, whose birthday is this week? You don't want me leading you, believe me.
I just stuck, the problem is, let's not try to start it in my key, but everybody else's key. Has that good? All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zeta. Happy birthday to you. Isn't she sparkly?
Thank you. Thank y'all. Oh, y'all got me. Wow. Board members, trustees, thank you. Have I missed anything? Did I cover everything we intended to cover today? Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions, observations? Yes, please.
I haven't had a chance to tell Patty yet, but we were talking about doing a crocheting and knitting get-together for people that don't know how or want to learn, or people who are much better than me. We're going to get together Sundays, the first Sunday of the month, if it's okay, after services, and meet up in the front parlor and just have some fun sitting together for an hour or two, knitting, visiting.
Yes, awesome.
Okay.
Yes. And also to let you know, we do have a seniors team. We will be getting together. I know that they will be getting together to come up with some plans. So, yeah, everybody's had some life things going on. So that's also one other thing. This is very, very important. Our Reverend Patty, her installation service. Yes. We have not given her an installation service as our senior pastor. I know, isn't that crazy? But we are going to do it in April. So, yes. So look forward to hearing information about it. It will be done on a Sunday morning, and we want this place packed. Yes, definitely. So, Reverend Patty, we do love you. You are just... You truly are the heart of this congregation. So you stand up, we give you a blessing.
Oh, yes. So it got put till April because this incredible man that I wanted to be our speaker, Reverend Jim Rose Murgy, who taught at Unity Institute, has run churches of various sizes and everything, is now retired in the hills of Georgia. And just to have his consciousness in the room is one thing, but he's going to be speaking that Sunday morning and leading a workshop the Saturday before. So I'm just so excited to have the amazing grace and power of his presence to be with us that day too.
Thank you. Third Sunday in April. I'm telling you, this man is, his spirit, I tell you, I just want to sit at his feet and learn. Seriously. And there are very few people that I would say that about. So thank you so much for coming, for participating, for your love, your encouragement, and your questions. And please know that if you are ever interested in being a part of the leadership here, being a part of running for the board, let me or any other board member raise your hands, or trustee, let us know. Thank you. And it is 1 o'clock. You believe that? Amen and hallelujah. We are dismissed.